Hello, students. So today I asked you to watch the 2-3 video, which this is, so good job on finding it. But I have a surprise for you. This is actually not just lesson 2-3. I'm going to teach you lesson 2-2 through 2-4. And in all honesty, I really don't think that this is the first time that you will be seeing this material. This is mostly a review, and I understand that it's review, so don't think that all the lessons are going to be this easy. This is just a lesson to review because I feel that a lot of you struggled and when on the test with multiplying, dividing, adding, and subtracting positive and negative numbers. So this is just a review on this. I'm sure that you'll do awesome on your homework with this lesson, and I expect most of you to probably be in yellow and green group because you've already seen this before. So we're doing a few sections today. Let's go ahead and get started. I titled this lesson 2-2 through 2-4, working with positive and negative integers. And your learning target is I can show mastery in multiplying, dividing, adding, and subtracting positive and negative integers. So this is a lot of information. Go ahead and pause the video whenever you need to catch up. So when you are multiplying, I'm going to go through multiplying and dividing rather quickly because I know you know these ones pretty easily. So a positive times a positive times positive is always positive, and a negative times a negative is always positive, and a positive times a negative is always negative. So here's some examples. Negative 5 times negative 6, well, we have a negative times a positive, so that's going to be a negative 30. And then we have a negative times a negative. Well, if we have two negatives, we have this scenario. And a negative times negative is always positive. And then this one is just our standard simple multiplication problem. We have a positive times a positive, and that remains a positive. All right. And then if we move on to dividing, if you're dividing a positive divided by a positive is always positive. Negative divided by a negative is always positive. Positive divided by a negative is always negative, and a negative divided by a positive is always a negative. So that's a lot of words. Mostly, if you can solve these four problems, you will have mastered dividing positive and negative integers. So 20 divided by 5, everybody, you should know that is 4. But what about a negative 20 divided by negative 5? Well, we have a negative divided by a negative, so that is also positive. And you can check that. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20, so that works. Now we have a positive divided by a negative. Well, a positive divided by a negative is always going to be negative. So you can check this one also. Negative 4 times negative 5 is positive 20, so that's awesome. Negative 20 divided by positive 5, and negative divided by positive, again, is going to be a negative. And check it. Negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. This slash right here is my division sign in case any of you missed that. All right, so if you need to, take a brain break, pause this video. If not, we're going to move on to adding and subtracting. So when you are adding, if the signs of the integers are the same, all you have to do is add the number and take that sign. And when you learned how to add, you were doing this as a kid. You knew that 3 plus 7 equals 10. Well, look, is this a positive 3? Yes. Is this a positive 7? Yes. So the signs are the same. You just add those numbers and you take that sign for your answer. So positive 3 plus positive 7 equals positive 10. So signs are the same. Add the numbers, take that sign. Someone else that I know says same sign sum. Just a quick way to remember it when you're adding. So what about this one? If you've got negatives, you have a negative 10 plus a negative 5. Well, your signs are the same. We are adding, so signs are the same sign sum. You'll just do 10 plus 5 is 15. And then we're going to keep that sign because both those signs are the same, so our answer needs to have that same sign. It'll be a negative 15. All right, so now let's move on to adding when the signs are different. So when the signs are different, we're going to subtract the numbers. We're going to take the smallest from the biggest, or another way to think of it is the biggest number on top, and then take the sign of the bigger number. So negative 10 plus 5. Well, look, the signs are different. Remember, we always look to the left of the number to determine if the sign or if the number is a positive or negative number. So here we have a negative 10 being added to a positive 5. So the signs are different. We need to subtract the numbers. So we put the bigger number on top. 10 minus 5 is 5. And then we ask ourselves from the original problem, which number is bigger, the 10 or the 5? And the answer is 10. 10 is obviously bigger than 5. And then we look to see, is 10 a positive or a negative number? And 10 right here is a negative number. So our final answer will actually be negative 5 because we keep the sign of the bigger number. We take the sign of the bigger number. So if you need help on this one, go ahead and try this problem. Negative 13 plus 6. And see what you get. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to. All right, for negative 13 plus 6, you should have done 13 take away 6, which is indeed 7. And then which one was bigger, 13 or 6 in the original problem? 13 is bigger, and 13 is negative, so your answer will be negative. All right, and then one more example. I'm going to do over here because I'm running out of room on my page. But one more example would be negative 13 plus 20. All right, so with this one, signs are different. We need to subtract the numbers and put the bigger number on top. Which one would go on top for this one? Oops, I don't want to go down there yet. For this one, we'd have to do 20 take away 13. Well, what is 20 take away 13? You should know that that's 7. And then which number is bigger here, the 13 or the 20? 20 is obviously bigger than 13, and 20 has a positive sign with it. So our final answer in this answer is going to be a positive 7. And you don't need to put that positive sign there. I just did to clarify for the lesson. Oops, that actually belongs over here too. And positive 7. So negative 13 plus 20 is a positive 7. And if you really need some extra help on this, I typically think of M&Ms, and I ask myself if someone is missing 13 M&Ms and then a friend gives them 20, now they have extra, so they should be in the positive numbers. But if in this scenario, if someone's missing 10 M&Ms and someone gives them 5, they're still missing 5 M&Ms. They still don't have enough. Okay, so that's just one way of thinking about it. All right, so now let's move on to subtraction. And subtraction, basically when we're subtracting numbers, there's a few different things that can happen. So if we have a negative 10 minus, let's do negative 10 minus 3 equals, so we're trying to figure out negative 10 minus 3. So if you think of a number line, when you're subtracting, you move down, you move to the left, and when you're adding, you move to the right. So negative 10 minus 3, we're supposed to be going down the number line, but with these negative signs in here, it gets a little confusing. So whenever you have a negative subtracted by something else, always add the opposite. So when I say add the opposite, it looks like this. We keep that negative 10. We change that subtraction sign to an addition sign. And then we take the opposite of a positive 3, which is a negative 3. So we do negative 10 plus negative 3 equals something. Well, didn't we already have a situation where we have the same sign and when we're taking the sum of those numbers? Yeah, we have same sign sum. So we know that if we have two numbers with the same sign, we just take the sum. So 10 plus 3 is 13. And then what's the sign for these numbers? It's a negative. So our final answer would be a negative 13 right here. Okay. And then what if we have negative, or what if we have just a 10 minus 3? That one is just elementary school, way too easy for you. 10 minus 3. Well, we're not dealing with any negatives. We can just do 10 take away 3 is 7. But what if we have a 10 minus, in parentheses, a negative 3 here? Well, we have, this is how I like to think about it, you have a negative and a negative. And when you have two negatives, I kind of look at the addition sign, and I see that the addition sign, let me zoom in for you guys. The addition sign has two lines on it. And if you look at these subtraction signs, it gives you, there are two lines. It's everything you need to make an addition problem. So the way I think about it is I take those two lines and I kind of rotate them so it turns into one addition problem. So 10 minus negative 3 is 10 plus 3. And essentially, this is still adding the opposite because you change this to an add the opposite. You put a line right here and you put a line right here, and you're doing 10 plus positive 3, which is just 13. Okay, so this one and this one, or these two, are the ones that kind of confuse people a little bit when you're dealing with subtraction. But in general, it doesn't get any more complicated than that. So go ahead and let's go down and start our quiz. This quiz really shouldn't be any problem for you guys. Go ahead and take it, and then pause the video so you can take it, and then I'll talk about homework in class the next time you see me. All right, so here's your quiz. Go ahead and pause the video. Yes, there are 10 questions, but yes, they are also very easy. Please make sure that you write the original problem on your paper before you just write the answer on the quiz. All right, so go ahead and pause this now, and then at the bottom of your quiz, please remember to write, if you're red, you need some extra help; yellow, you're okay, but you need some practice; or green, this is too easy and I'm ready to, actually for this one, I'm going to have you test out of it just to make sure that you can prove that you are totally green and good to go. So at the bottom, if you're red, yellow, or green, and I will see you in class on Tuesday. So go ahead and pause the video now and take the quiz if you haven't done that already.